Craving more? Hit up our one-armed bandits. From spinning reels to flashing lights, the excitement never stops. And don't forget your Lucky 7 tickets with large bonuses. Just ask Chantel, who won $20,000, or Mary, who just won $25,000 on our tickets. Nashua, this is your sign. Grab your crew, grab your dabbers, and check out Nashua Bingo, easily located at Exit 2 in Nashua, next to Town Fair Tire. Nashua Bingo, where Nashua wins.
The views and opinions of the following show do not reflect those of WSMN, its owners, and/or associates.
Lisa and Robin are two fun friends diving deep into conversations where nothing is taboo. They believe in eating dessert before dinner and wearing the bikini. They're allergic to labels, authority, and cheap shoes. Currently, they're launching themselves through life being the good time, bold enough to take risks and inquisitively asking, what's next? They hail from New Hampshire, but they could be anywhere dressed in cute clothes. If they had to share a tombstone, it would read, "Curiosity killed these cats." Your hosts, Lisa and Robin on the mic.
Welcome to another hour of Lisa and Robin on the mic. You are listening on WSMN, 1590 AM, 95.3 FM. You can watch, stream, and listen on WSMN.live, as well as YouTube and Facebook. I'm not sure if we're up. Is that the live camera? Interesting. It just shows NPTV.
Yeah, it usually does play over there, so I don't know if we're actually...
Yeah. Amy, just double check that we're on WSMN.live for us, please. And then CrossFit is a cult. I feel as a workout group, CrossFit is very cultish.
Yes.
In a good way. In a responsible, healthy way.
It's a niche, you know, and like not everybody. Like, well, I think bowling could be a cult.
Yes. If you had the power to wield, if you had the power to hypnotize people, do you think you'd wield it responsibly?
Probably not.
Yeah, I probably not. Me too.
I'm just probably not.
Honesty.
I would probably hypnotize if my waitress was, you know, being bad, you know, rude. I would probably hypnotize people that I would just be like, you know, it would be like if I had a superpower, I would be like bewitched.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to use my nose and just, you know, I'll just fix your attitude.
Yeah, and you know you want to use it for good, but would you use it for good all the time?
Maybe not. Probably not.
Probably not.
I mean, if I were being really honest, I probably would not.
Right.
I would use but I would use it for the most part. I would use it for good. But I do believe that I would manipulate people to get what I want.
Yeah. Do you think love is a type of hypnosis?
Yes.
I definitely do.
I do. Because I think that, I mean, you're talking about...
Think of all the things you do in the name of love.
Yes. Because you think about, look at all the dopamines that it releases, and look at all the murders, look at all the crazy stuff that happens, the crazy stuff that you do for love. Chasing that. So yeah, I do. I believe that.
Yeah, I wonder what in the hormone concoction has sort of that. I think television is hypnotic. I think the internet is hypnotic. Because I've noticed in myself that it's better off for me to not watch any television at night because I end up staying late, even if I'm watching something I've already seen before. There's no interest to stay up. I will fall asleep on the couch instead of just shutting it off and going up. I think there's some kind of trance there. And that's why I stopped watching television, cable television, a long time ago because I felt like it was so upsetting to me. I feel like hearing the news 24/7 or even an hour of news can depress me like no one's business.
Yeah.
And I always think the same thing. What am I doing with this information?
See, the way that I like to take in news is if it's written. That way you can glance and skim and you can pick out what you want. You don't have to be subject to their emotions, their rise and fall of their voice. Because they're saying it in a way that they want to draw you in.
The news.
They want you to lean in. Yes.
But they also do that urgent,
yes.
That's like very...
Or the deadly, the terrifying storm that's getting ready to, and it's the drama.
And what I also hate, too, is they'll do that very dramatic voice about things. And then next week,
Yes.
and then we have kittens on
And
Thursday.
stay tuned.
I hate that modulation, artificial modulation of scary voice, nice voice, scary voice, nice voice. It annoys me.
Or listening to, oh my gosh. Remember old reporters and like race car announcers? They have there's a very distinct way that they deliver.
Baseball announcers do the same thing
Yes.
too. And he's out.
Yes.
Or they'll do that strike. They
So-
do that kind of cadence.
Here is a neurodivergent moment. I'm watching this guy eat chips, and like she
On
was
the
just
boat,
laying
on the
on the boat
television.
on TV. Like they have live cameras up. How many of these live cameras are out in the world that has caught us doing something? Because I was like, man, what if they came up?
Pick their wedgie.
Well, yeah, pick their nose, or like, what if they just got a little kinky right there? Like, I mean, there's nothing like I'm walking by and Chris will pull the strings of my top, or like take that off. I mean, you just never know who's watching. Like, that's a little bit. I'm like, I don't think I like that.
That's the thing about our world today. I think we are under some perpetual watch. Like there's cameras on lights on the street, stoplights. Stoplights.
Yeah, what is that movie where they're trying to find somebody and they've got that room? I want
Every
to say it's
movie.
like John Wick or somewhere like that, and they look and they can search for a face recognition, and it's like
Mission Impossible does that.
50 million faces across the screen at one time, and like
The Reacher show does that. What's the name of the thing with Matt Damon? There's some kind
it's not it's three of them, isn't it?
yeah,
And he's a
spy.
yeah.
But he will never wear a beard or to have a different haircut.
Oh my God,
and it's like, how do you not find this guy? He's
What is
got
the
this.
name of that? Matt Damon.
All right, so you look that up.
It's undercover stuff, like
Yeah, but he never looks different. I want him to wear a hair piece or something. I don't know. Let's see. One of the other questions I wanted to ask you was,
we're gonna know it as soon as we see it.
I think we're so overloaded on consumption of news. We're out of the political cycle, but we're not out of the political cycle still. And one of the things, I'm like you, I like to read my news. And even if I have to listen to something horrible, I will choose to read a book about it versus just watch a news thing about it. And part of that is because they leave me wanting for so much. They drop these non sequitur bombs. And you're like, I need way more information.
Well, that's it. That's marketing. Born Identity.
Good job. Born Identity.
What was Google? You could.
Oh, you had a Google. Thank you. Google. Thank you, Google.
Thank you.
So the other thing I think is like, now we have these cults that everyone's just not eating enough protein. That's everything across my Instagram page is how much protein I'm not eating.
Vegans, that's a cult.
Vegans, that's a cult. Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's what I mean. I think
I don't even know all the names it used to be if you didn't eat meat,
keto
you were
diet,
just a vegetarian.
paleo diet. Yes.
Now you're like, what was the word I just said?
Vegan.
Vegan.
But vegans
then
don't eat eggs or butter because it had been made from an animal. And then you want to tell them that plants have consciousness and really screw with them.
I know.
Be like, the trees feel.
Right.
The trees know.
Right.
The trees communicate with each other, right? And I don't want to think about that. I don't want to because it's funny. I replanted. I had some plants in my house that were just root bound and just growing out of the pots, and they were huge and touching the ceiling. I'm like, I got to get these under control. So I made babies.
Yes.
But as I'm like hacking them and cutting them and ripping them, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm doing this because I love you. I'm trying to put my intention. Please don't think I'm killing you.
See, there's 30 most disturbing cults that are still active.
Okay.
It's not a list, it's YouTube. So I was trying to look for a list. I just had a good one, too. Oh, what about those people from the Westboro Baptist Church or whatever that thing is?
Is that a cult?
In Massachusetts. Remember they had that? I don't know.
I don't remember anything about this.
Aren't they like burning stuff? And is it Westboro?
I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know anything about that one. I think for a cult to make its way, to that famedom, I think it's right when it's falling apart. That's my theory. Do you know when we were when we went to Val's birthday, we went to Florida, my sister-in-law. We celebrated her birthday in Florida, and there was an Amish family there. And we were joking. I really wanted to ask them, how did you get down here? Did you take your horse?
Oh, my gosh.
3,000 miles?
But did they wear their Amish outfit?
Yes.
On the beach?
On the pool and by the beach, yes.
Oh, so they're like no bathing suit?
No bathing suit.
Did they...
They put their little pants up and they walked in the water a little bit, but they weren't. They had the full outfit.
So did they hang out by the pool?
Yes, in that outfit.
They're lounging by the
Yes.
chair in that... God, you got to be hot.
No, because it was only 40
Well,
degrees.
April, but still, what are you
No,
going to do?
it was only 40 degrees when we went. Florida was really cold when we went in February, which was so unusual. But I was thinking to myself, okay, how did they get down here? Because they didn't ride a horse down here. They didn't ride horses down here. The horse would be exhausted.
I don't know. No, some
And there was
Amish
a
people
family.
have cars.
Do they?
I think they're black.
Oh, so they are allowed to have cars.
I think so. Well, I think that there's
I know
an
they can have credit
Amish-
cards because they swipe your credit card for the furniture now. So I know they have some electricity.
So in Virginia, there was a little Amish village.
No
or
zippers,
town
but
or
electricity.
Little Amish community. And we would go, when we'd go and visit my grandparents, they would make the best bread. And so we would go buy bread and cheese and butter from the Amish.
and I have
feel
I have
like
some
they
furniture
did.
from the Amish.
I feel like it's the old, the old black Mercedes, like on The Sopranos or something like that. Like,
so that's interesting. So I actually have no problem with Amish people. Like if you don't want to
don't
have
either.
electricity and buttons or zippers, good for you. I'm glad I don't have to live that life.
yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't.
I
Wanna,
don't feel like the Amish are trying to infringe upon us as a
That's the
society
thing,
at all. Like
they're
they're not trying to I'm not trying to influence you. Actually, we don't want you.
Actually, right. We're pretty exclusive, and we do not want you a part of
Just
it.
move on.
Just buy the furniture and go.
Yes.
Get your bread. Get your baguette. Get out. And I respect that. You don't want me.
That's
I
as much
respect
as
that.
we're gonna mingle with you people. And that's what I bet they're like, just get
Yes.
out of here.
Yes.
But
Hopefully,
I
a
can't
horse will run
imagine
them
being
over.
like a young Amish girl and you see other women or girls your age in cute little outfits and being like, that piece alone would probably do me in. Being like, yeah, I'm not going to be Amish
I'm
anymore.
off this farm.
Sorry, folks. I'm out.
I'm off this farm. Yeah, and
Take my stick with my little handkerchief, with my goodies in the back. Because I'm not taking all those outfits.
right.
And the shoes.
What do they wear for shoes? Clogs?
I don't know. Like the old, I think about Buster Browns or saddle shoes.
Do you know I've never owned a pair of Crocs? And
Me
I'm not,
either.
And I'm never going to own a pair
I
of
won't
Crocs.
either.
I don't care what you say. I don't care if it's for beach or anything. I cannot. I joke that if I brought Crocs into my closet, they would just be shamed out.
Yes.
That all my other shoes would.
There's so many different options.
Mhm.
Gardening shoes. There's so many different cute.
Even Clark's makes some really cute shoes. And that's
Yeah.
as ugly as a brand as I'm going.
I've seen. There's a guy that I see every Thursday night in white Crocs, and he's a big dude. And they're dirty. They're dirty, dirty.
You can't clean it out.
And I just why would
What
you?
are they
even-
made out of? Recycled rubber?
It's like foam rubber or something. I don't
Ugh.
know. They probably float.
If you wear Crocs, you are free to do whatever you want because this is not a cult.
right.
This is a fun radio show.
Right.
We are trying to give you something way more fun than the news.
Yes.
That
and
has
we
always
are
been our
soliciting
attention.
you to be our subscribers, our followers.
Our followers, and if
We are starting a cult.
you do, we are going to start a baby cult, but it's just Lisa and Robin on the mic. You've been listening to this cult for a while now.
Sunshine Band.
We like to have a good time. We like good food. We like to. We obviously like to laugh.
Yes.
We like to meet new people. We always have interesting guests on. So we're baby cult on a small level. But you don't have to agree with everything we said. We hope you don't agree with everything we
Right,
said. How
right.
uninteresting would it be?
We like controversy.
Yeah. How interesting would it be if
Not
you
really, but-
believed everything that we believed? It wouldn't be fun at all. And we want you to wear your Crocs.
That's
Just
yes.
know we are not wearing our Crocs.
And
we
we
are not
might
wearing-
make fun of you
in a good
in a good way.
a good ribbing
because
way.
you can make fun of me.
You can make fun of us.
Yes. You
You totally make fun of us.
Yes, I don't mind. As long as the only rule would be is just keep it in good fun.
Yeah, don't make me cry.
Right.
But I almost think now that I'm
But I can't imagine I can't imagine somebody being offended about just making fun of Crocs. It's just a choice. It's just shoes. It's just shoes. It's
Right.
one pair of shoes in a million different varieties.
But I think
it's okay that I don't like it. It's okay that you do. I can still make fun of it. Just don't get upset about it.
right.
That's how I feel.
Right.
So if I have a superpower and I could, manipulate people, my little
There'd be no Crocs.
yes. Well, it's not like you don't want to eradicate Crocs. It's like you want to have them around so that you can make fun of them.
Absolutely.
But we would just, manipulate so they don't get their feelings hurt. They can laugh too.
Yes. Yeah, so I was thinking that we are all a byproduct of our environments, whether we like it or we not. We're all having some kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
Influence?
Yes, we're all being influenced knowingly and unknowingly.
Well, we all come with baggage. We've all come with our own programming.
Right.
Programming might be a word.
Yes, so we're all programmed at any given time. And depending on what channels you watch and what social medias you watch, because I think my YouTube. Sorry, I'm just having a hot flash. Yeah. And I'm going to do an advanced maternal age thing in a second. This is how odd my YouTube channel must be, is that I get ads for single hot women over 50.
Wow.
And it says, and one of the things it says
on
is
your YouTube channel, they think they think that you're a guy, or do they think
I think they think I'm a guy.
Swinger.
No, I think they think I'm a guy. I think because I have Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan and some podcasts that they think demographically I'm a
man,
guy.
Baby.
Right. I think they think I'm a man because they're always offering me hot, happy women over 50, single women over 50.
Wow.
And there's always a gray-haired woman with long hair.
In your area, or do you have to travel for them?
She's on the computer. I'm clicking on her. I'm not clicking on her, but I'm saying it's so funny how...
You should find out where she's from.
900, isn't a 900 number? It's $1.99 a minute or whatever.
Well, inflation's gone up, so it's
probably like $5.99 a minute.
It's going to be like $5.99.
And she's going to say,
$8.99.
What do you want me to do, baby?
She can't be cheaper than eggs.
Right.
It's got to be more than $5.99.
And she's going to say things like, what do you want me to do, baby? And I'm just like, clean my dishes. I want you to make the bed. I want new sheets every day.
Oh my God.
I want you to vacuum the house.
I can't believe you just said that. I said to Chris, when I make buku money, I'm going to hire somebody to change our sheets every day. Clean sheets every day. There's nothing better than once the sheets go on and it's tight.
They're tight, they're crisp, they're clean,
Yes.
they're that different because they haven't been sweated on. The other thing is that's why I used to love hotels.
Yes.
Over an Airbnb. And then they started doing, we're saving the planet by not washing the sheets while you're here. And I'm like, I could have dirty sheets in my house, lady. I could have the same sheets on my bed for a week at my house.
Yes.
I'm not paying Ritz-Carlton. Ritz-Carlton
Yes.
doesn't do that.
Yeah.
But other
Yes.
other brands are doing that. I haven't been in a Ritz-Carlton in a while. Now that I think about it, because they're doing that every 3 days, we'll change your sheets. And I call down and I'm like, I want my sheets changed.
Yeah.
What do you think I'm paying for?
Right. I'm going to be out by 10 today.
I want
them changed I want them changed. I'm going to be out. I'm going to be away from the room from here to here. There's your window. Go.
But so if there was a 900 number and there was a woman, and even if there was a guy on the other side of the 900 number, and he was like, what do you want me to do to you? I'm like, I'm going to want you to vacuum all my house. That's what I want you to do.
And cook me a steak.
Go food shopping.
See, I don't need vacuuming because we have Jarvis. He is malfunctioning. So we have the Roomba thing. It does still do a pretty good job, but I still vacuum pretty much every day.
I don't vacuum as much as I need to.
I don't dust as much as I do.
I don't
dust all the good. I don't dust all the the little things. I don't do that as good as I should.
Yeah.
I'd pay somebody to do that and unload the dishwasher.
It's really funny. I cannot tell you how many arguments we had about the dishwasher. I think that's how your basis of your relationship is. Like, if the only thing you're arguing about is the dishwasher, but you're arguing about it every day.
Right. Right.
And I never load the dishwasher properly because there is instructions on how to load the dishwasher.
Oh, yes, it is. There is.
There's 8 different ways to get the most things in, but you're lucky. I do this chore 2 to 3 times a day, 365 days a year, 30 years. You're lucky I'm doing it at all. That's the way I feel.
That's how I feel about when Chris was, will you fold my shirts this way? I'm like, I look at him like, are you
ready? 1, 2, 3.
You have no idea.
Get some nerve.
You do. And do not fuss about them socks, boy. And I got to the point where if they bring their jeans and stuff inside out, and so a lot of times, Kayla will wash hers inside out. And they say it keeps the dark denim.
But if you have a stain on the dark on the outside, it doesn't get rid of it.
Right. Well, that's why you use Dawn. I do. I actually have one. They have like a continual spray Dawn thing.
Okay.
And so I use that on my clothes because that has been the best stain remover ever. So I keep a little thing of Dawn because my mom's like, oh, just rub a little spot on that and let it sit for a while. Done.
I never thought of that because I was using Shout and it doesn't always get the stains out, especially if it's a tomato base and there's oil plus tomato. You're not getting that out. Throw that away.
If I know I have a stain on it, I will go and put some Dawn on it. So
good to know.
Everybody learned that today. Get yourself some Dawn. It's great for stain remover.
Get yourself a Mormon wife. Have three of them. One of them's for the laundry. One of them's for the cooking.
They go through
Don't
socks.
exhaust her.
Yes, they go through socks like I don't know how often. And he's like, I want my, he wants you to hold the shirt up. Like you hold it up and you hold it.
I'm not interested in
the
his
seams.
shirt shuffle.
Yeah. And I'm like, and he shows me all this way. He's going through. You see this? You hold it this way. If you pinch it here, Robin, pinch it here, and then you fold it back. And then you fold it this way, and then you fold it, and it's a nice. And yes. Like okay, and then I just fold it twice and put it in the shelf. Like, shakes his head, like, dude, don't start me in. Don't start me in. I'm just having fun. I don't say that, but I'm like, I am having fun. How often would it be? Like, I would love for somebody to come up and have. I just walk into my closet. All my clothes are folded. It's all clean clothes.
So Sofia Vergara.
I would not complain.
You know how men listen to her like the gospel, like Sophia speaking. We don't even know what she's saying. But
we should get her to record like subliminal messages.
So she says on multiple shows, like they say something about something, and she says, "How dare you want your wife to have sex with you after she's been with a baby all day? Get a nanny." Get a housekeeper. She goes, even housekeepers in Colombia have housekeepers because no one will clean their own house. And I was like, she's in America now. She needs to bring these ideas to America. And we need to absorb them into our culture.
Yes. Yes. I don't care if my housekeeper has a housekeeper, but
I don't want to be the housekeeper.
I would like to. I don't want to be that. I didn't sign up for that.
So and I just thought it was interesting. And it is like, wow, you don't think of Colombia as the most rich place on the face of the earth. But she says every single person has a housekeeper that comes to their house. They do things. They clean. They do your laundry. They change. And they'll leave. She says that she has a housekeeper at all times. But she said, how could you possibly think impose on your wife to want to have sex with you after she's just been thrown up on all day caring for a child.
And cooking and cleaning. Folding laundry the wrong way.
And then being spoken to about it.
So that was what I was going to say is if you hand me something inside out, it's going back to you inside out. So you know how many times I've walked in and his jeans are inside out all folded up on the shelf. He does not say a word.
Because he should be grateful that his laundry's being done. It's clean.
He's like, you doing this on purpose? Nope.
And isn't it funny? Because he could take it as an offense because he has spoken to you about it.
Well, I've also said, hey.
You're more than welcome to do your own laundry.
You are more than welcome to refold it. You're more than welcome to fold the laundry. But how I get it is how you get it back. I'm not rolling. I'm not gonna inside out 4 people's pants. Those are jeans. That's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Do you think that we all have a need to belong somewhere?
Yes.
Where do you need to belong?
Where do I need to belong?
Like, where do you feel like, okay, that need is being taken care of so a cult can't come and just throw me in the van?
Community. I have to have community. So my people, my friends. But I don't think about, like, I have to have... Like, I mean, we all need something. Where would yours be?
So I think I have several places for a community. I used to do yoga in my house for the longest time, but then I found a studio that I really liked.
I would go more if it were
closer to you.
Down the hill for me.
Yeah, in mine, it is down the hill for me. So I feel like that's a community. I feel like you can just touch someone this much. Hey, how you doing? Or
Connection. So maybe
just like a little something, but not an obligation.
Yes.
And you can follow them on social media. Those are the people I like following, and I see that one of the ladies from my yoga studio just wrote a book. I think it's her third book, and I should actually say the name on it.
So while you're looking for it, I think it's connection. So it's not really community. I think we all have a basic need to have connection to people. I don't think that we were created to be
But connection, I think, and belonging are
singular.
different. Do you think connection and belonging are different?
Yes. But I don't think everybody needs to belong. Like, I don't need to belong to a club. I don't need to. But I think I do need connection. Like, I could live on my own. I could live on my own and not.
I'm an only child. I can do a lot on my own. I can go to restaurants on my own. I can go to the movie theater. Like
I
can do stuff
desire
by
it.
myself.
I want community. But I think that we, as humans, need connection.
Mm-hmm. So I think
we need connection more than we need community.
I think so connection.
Belonging.
Yeah, I think belonging. You have to belong somewhere. Whether that's your family or your friend group or a social group or your work group. I think if you don't feel like you belong, or maybe belonging and connection are the same thing. What do you guys think? Do you think belonging and connection are the same thing, or do you think one is a different version?
See, to me, when I hear belonging, I think about fitting in. Feeling the need to fit in. And it's probably why I have my own family, so I can raise humans. I always joked, like, the reason I had kids is so I can raise humans that I like.
Yeah, a family is a cult.
Yeah.
A small cult. So her name is Carrie Carello, and she wrote Autism Out Loud with two other ladies. She's written a couple of other books. She was just on CBS.
Was she on here?
No, she wasn't on here. I think I told her when the book comes out, because I see her at the yoga studio, and you talk for a few minutes, and her book was coming out in April. And I said, we should have you on the radio show because it's an interesting topic. I don't know much about.
It was the other lady that you had on when we were gone.
That was Heather Fowler. She does dyslexia.
Oh, yeah.
So, but this is what I like, that community. Okay, so now I have a reason to follow. I'm not just following strangers.
But you don't have to belong.
But I don't have to belong.
Is there anything that you feel like you have to belong to?
Myself.
Yes.
I feel like most of my life, I forgot to belong to myself. I feel like, and I think this advanced maternal age has something to do with it. You realize you have a limited amount of energy. Where in my 20s, I thought I had unlimited energy. What I did was I had unlimited estrogen. Is what I had.
Yes.
I confused that.
It literally is, but they even talk about when you drop, that they talk about menopause brain or that brain fog. And it literally is, you can't even, sometimes I don't feel like I can hold a complete thought. And they say that it's because of the drop in your estrogen.
Yeah, in addition to being cardiovascularly protective, estrogen is also neurologically protective. So that's why more women than men get Alzheimer's.
Yes.
Which is interesting.
And more women suffer from depression as well.
Yes. And I think that, what do you think about depression and belonging? Or depression and connection?
How do you mean? Because I feel like, are you saying if you have connection, then you're not depressed? I think depression is its own thing, and I think we can get depressed if we don't have a connection.
But we can so I have seasonal
look
affective.
At these, when they talk about the babies that were in China, they did a study about years ago, they did in an orphanage, and babies that were not touched did not grow properly. They were sick. They were ill, whereas babies that were touched and held were thriving.
So they did, if I didn't want to be an air traffic controller when I went into college, that first psychology course that I took, I would have wanted to. If I didn't have a major going in, I would have been swayed.
You found it interesting enough to be like, oh, I'll follow this bunny
And to
trail.
this day, I rabbit hole down psychology stuff. I think this human behavior of cults is a psychological phenomena.
Yes.
Right. So I read this study that they took monkeys, baby monkeys, and took them away from their parents. And some scientists are weird groups of people. Let me just say that.
Yes.
They rip these babies away from their monkey
Science is a
parents
cult.
and stick them over. And then they take these other ones also away from their parents, but they hold them so many hours a day. By the time that the chimps were however many years old, 9 months or a year, the ones who had been held would go and try to hold the ones who had never been held.
Oh. See, that's connection.
And how scared the ones who had never been held, they couldn't almost find solace.
Yeah.
And I think of I'm a touch person.
Yeah.
I realized that really young when I used to get my nails done. I used to I love when they massage your hand or put cream on your hand or whatever. And I was like, oh. So when I was 18, I think it was 18 or 19 when I got my first massage. Because I think I understood that physical need to be touched in a non-sexual way.
See, that's funny because I'm weird about people touching me that I don't
A lot
know.
of people are.
I'm not like, what?
Yeah, a lot of people are. So a lot
Give
of
me that lotion. I'll do my own hands.
a lot of people don't even. My mother was one of them. She wouldn't even want you touching. So I'd be like, let me do your nails, and she'd be like, well, don't touch my hand. And I'm like, how am I going to file if I can't? She goes, just do it like this, and I'm like, but as I press against you,
I'm not.
yeah, that's how
I'm
creepy. That's how creeped she was by don't touch
Wow.
my hands.
I'm not like that. I like, if it's my people that I know, but if it's, and I've gotten better about it. But
So
and I
do you
don't
not
do
like
anything about-
massages?
So when I do, but there's always those awkward first moments of me being like, okay, just
Yeah.
relax.
That's why it's
And
good.
it's not, I don't think it's icky or anything because I feel like I'm always touching one of my humans, whether it's just a pat on the head or the tap on the shoulder or just a gentle touch. Like I'm always, especially when my kids were little, even like teenagers and stuff, like we'd all cuddle. Kayla and I would cuddle on the couch when you're, watching a show, Selling Sunsets, and we're all snuggled up on the couch, and sometimes our feet touch, and or I'll get up and I'm like, hey, do you need anything? And it's strangers.
Yeah. Yeah, I do get that, and I think that's why I always want a pet, because I always want something to manhandle a little bit.
Yeah.
Or them to lie on me, and I feel
Yes.
comforted by that.
Yeah.
But the massage thing, well, when I was really young, I would wear my bra and underwear, even though they would tell you to get naked, because I was like, I don't want you to touch my part. And they would say, is there any part that's off limits or you have pain anywhere? And I'm like, no private parts, because I didn't want to get into that thing where you're like rubbing my shoulders. Now I think you're going to rub my boobs.
I know.
Because I would have
I can't relax if you're going to do a reach around.
I cannot relax if you're going to do that. I'm trying to relax here. But
At least say hi before you do the reach around.
so I have a friend. I just went on a walk with her. She's now holding babies in hospitals. There's babies that don't have parents or family. So she does that now.
So do you know
3 or
my
4 hours
daughter's
a-
doing that right now? She
Is
just
she really?
passed because her school is right where the hospital is in the NICU, and so on her free time she had to pass a little training thing, but she can go and hold NICU babies, and so she's done a few of them.
So I think when I retire one day, that'll be
I
the
always wanted
4
to- I
hours a
thought
week, because
about-
I do love touch.
Yeah.
When I think of I think of Angela. I was 18 or 19. When she was born. And I used to take her and I used to put her as close to my skin, her skin on my skin, as I possibly could.
Well, they say it's actually really good for them.
Yeah.
Especially when ours, they were telling us when you take them home, I was like, pets. When you take your babies home, and because they were preemie, and she said, do that skin time.
Yeah.
So they did. They call it koala time or something, or skin time is what we did. But it also helps them regulate their heart rate. It helps their organs grow, is what they're saying, and it regulates their temperature, and it helps them sleep. It's calming to them.
Yeah. So I think, and I wonder if it's a nature nurture thing. Was I just so held as a baby that that became a thing that I
Maybe.
feel that feels comforting to me? But like, so
Yeah.
I had to curb touching arms or something because there was a part of me that like if I didn't know 100% if you were paying attention, I wanted to physically touch you.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
can't do that in a work environment. But there was that impetus. Even though I knew it wasn't appropriate and I would be like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to tell you a story, I would grab, as my friend,
Yes.
I would grab your arm.
Yes.
Like I would not
Yes.
hold you in place, but like
Yeah,
to
I get it. Yeah,
emphasis
you're just,
or something.
hey, look, you're trying to get you're expanding your energy.
I'm expressive
You're
also
pulling me into
physically.
your force field.
Yes, like almost like as an expressive thing.
Yes.
But then I look at all those people in those cults and it's like, yeah, don't touch me. So it's
Riding in the elevator, you're too close. Don't touch me.
right.
Don't touch me.
Yeah, and again, general population, yeah, don't touch me, but a massage stranger,
Yes.
that's different because
Well, I'm signing up for it too.
yes,
I'm signing
Yes.
up for you to touch me.
yes, appropriately,
Right.
and not inappropriately.
I did write panties on, and no touchy.
It took me a long time. I think I was 30 before I actually went to my massage naked, because the person would be like, "It's okay," like, and I'm like, "It's staying on," because I wasn't having that story. I was
I
18 or
cannot.
19 or whatever. I wasn't having that story. Isn't that funny?
Do they? What do the guys? Do they ask us guys the same question too?
I think everybody gets naked. I think that's part
No,
of
what you don't want touched.
it's on the form. Is there any place that you have pain or like, as if you have frozen shoulder or you have like
How
a hip
many
replacement?
people have testicular pain when they go to a masseuse? That's what I'm saying.
Though you go to
That's what I'm saying without saying.
yeah, you go to a different masseuse if you want that one. There was I forget where it was.
I sprained my areola. Can you massage? I mean, like, so I don't. Is that a thing? Do they do that?
I'm pretty sure. I'm
But
sure
then why
that
do they ask if you know that you've got a no zone? If you've got 2 no-go zones.
yes, but I think like your buttocks could be a go zone.
True.
Because you could have pain there or something. But
Sure, I could see that.
you could see like the butt like
I'm talking about the front butt.
right. Of the private parts, what would be the least offensive for you?
Any part, really. If I'm signing up for it.
No, you're a waitress. Would you rather someone touch a boob or someone touch a butt? What
Why
would be
somebody
least
touch my butt?
Okay.
Because I just like playing sports and stuff like that. You always got, and I'm so used to that. Chris will walk by and,
Yeah.
tap you on the bum and to me, that's just not,
It's not sexual.
it's not sexual. I don't see that as sexual as the same way. That's kind of playful. Like, but when you're pointing your finger or reaching, like, or are you gonna cup it? Or are you gonna poke it? Like, how does that feeling take place? Are you just walking by and they just stick their arm out real quick?
Right.
Cop a feel.
Right. I think of Kingpin because we're talking about Amish people, and there's that Kingpin movie, and where Ernie McCracken takes her by her boob and her butt and changes her directions and pushes her off. Like he gets both, the butt and the boob, at the same time.
Zoop. I wonder how many times they practice that. All right, what about you? Boob or butt?
Butt.
What is the least offensive thing where somebody could touch you?
Butt.
Yeah. Like,
I would
don't mind-
prefer not my butt, but
Yeah.
like I think. But again, the sports thing, it wouldn't be like I wouldn't be in a closed group. So a sports team, I wouldn't be offended where the boob would cause offense.
And you wouldn't be offended. You wouldn't be offended if I grabbed your butt.
No. But that's what I mean. Like
Yes.
in that closed
Yes,
environment
yes.
where it's acceptable for you to touch me at all.
Yeah.
You're allowed to touch me. Not the people who are not allowed to touch me.
One of the things I hate to be touched, even it does not matter who it is. Like you could, I don't like when I don't feel good, or sometimes if I'm not feeling good or Chris is rubbing my back or we'll be watching a movie sometimes, he takes my hair and pushes it all, like rubs my hair back. I feel like a pat down, man. Don't do that. I don't like you to push my hair off my forehead.
So
I feel like you're just being, just can't you just like run your fingers through it instead of feeling like you're trying to slick it down? Try to slick it back. That's huge pet peeve. I hate that.
So I have curly hair. Okay. Don't touch my hair. Right? I don't mind, at home if, is petting my hair like that because my hair's not going anywhere afterwards. You know what I mean? Like I'm in the house. I'm not trying to go out for the night. But my hair is such a thing. You're not getting your hand under my hair. You think you're just like sticking your hand in my hair. You can grab me by like the nape of the neck, but know that you're not running your fingers through curly hair.
You're going to be here for the next 5 minutes.
Yes. Yes. What is that Seinfeld skit where he goes, what kind of hair does she have? And then can I run my hands through her hair? And he goes, do you want to be able to get your hands out of her hair? Or do you not want to be able to get your hands out of her hair? What kind of hair do you like?
Yes.
And so it was really funny. We were at some party and one of my family member came and they were talking about, they showed me the picture of their new girlfriend and she had beautiful curly hair. And I said, not to run your hands through that, right? And he goes, I learned. And I was like, oh, I wish I came to this conversation 2 weeks ago. He's like, it would have been way helpful 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God,
there was an awkward moment. I was trying to be romantic and I'm like, oh, sorry. Oh, my rings are caught in your hair. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Not to run your. So, tip of the day: you have curly hair. Your girlfriend has curly hair. You're dating someone. You're getting romantic. That first thing. Do not think you're running your fingers through that hair. That is a tangled mess.
Yeah. Have her braid, and it hurts.
I do think back in the 80s, no one tried to touch anyone's hair because it was a helmet of hairspray.
Oh my God, Aquanet! Like you took 2 cans of the, family size Aquanet.
Do people even use hairspray anymore? That was like our weapon of choice.
Yes.
I don't think we had hair without hairspray.
I have hairspray, but I keep a bottle because I only do this right here because it will stay. My hair is
She's pointing to her bangs.
Yes. My hair is so fine and so thin. It gives it a little bit of volume, but it's because it's so fine when I put like a product in it, it looks greasy or it weighs it down.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a fine balance.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to never use aerosol, but I did get an aerosol and I just go shake and
yeah, but that used to, we had generations where
my God.
you would
wings.
You would press down the hair and it would bounce back to its original size. That's how much hairspray we had.
Yes.
And I'm trying to think of how did we wash that out? We must have been in the shower forever.
God, I remember. But do you ever remember having like so much hairspray on your hair? If it got wet, it almost got sticky.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. I remember
glue kind of and you have to go through that all day. And I used to have wings. They were feathered wings, man. And sometimes if the wind blew in the wrong direction, it literally all came up at one piece. Like I had 2 tubes.
2 side toupees.
Yes. It looks like something off of Star Trek. All of a sudden my ears pop out. The big old panels. I did. Literally. Those wings. So I never was able to be the ones to have like big hair. They would tease that stuff.
You'd hang upside down.
Yes.
And blow it, hairspray it
yes.
upside down. And I think the men of that generation, the boys of that generation knew like, this is artificially helmeted.
Yeah.
I can't really do anything with that.
Yes.
And they left our hair alone.
No touchy from the chin up.
You do the neck, the back of the neck, but leave the hair alone.
If I got a ponytail up, then yes. You can get the back of the neck. Oh, bring back the 80s hair. No, I couldn't do it.
Well, it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
It is a lot of work to have 80s hair. Because I sort of almost have 80s hair now because my hair is bigger. It has,
Yeah, but it's like you have volume to it, though. It's not out of proportion. You didn't do that. Like, you didn't walk me like, oof.
No, but I do have that picture of me when I used to blow dry it up. And I think it was...
do the fro.
People used to tell me, like, that I was taller than I was by several inches, and I knew it was because of
Oh,
my
the
hair. Yeah, I appear.
I wish I could get that
5'7".
kind of volume on my hair. It's
No.
just, It
Even
does not.
blowing dry, upside down, and all of that.
It just for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, even now, like I will curl my hair. My hair was banging when I left the house. I was like, "Oof."
It looks good now.
It's pretty straight.
No, it looks good now.
I mean, it relaxes, but at least it relaxes to the enough that it's kind of wavy and it has a little bit of volume to it.
Maybe
but
you need a stiffer gel. Do
I
you
don't
use gel?
Use gel.
Maybe you need to start
Maybe.
using gel.
Because I do have some, like, it's a hair paste. It's almost like a cream. If I put it on wet and then brush it through there.
Cream is too soft. You need gel. Gel provides hold.
Yeah, but then I don't like that hard, crunchy
Well,
feel.
if you blow dry it or use a brush, you can not do the crunchy.
We'll try it. I mean, maybe I'll come in next Thursday with some big hair.
80s hair?
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
You better get me for like the first 5 minutes.
We'll take a picture. We will take a picture. So you think belonging
and connection.
So that's what I think cults use is the need to belong
Yes.
somewhere.
That's right, because there's something in there, the manipulation, whether you have had a bad family life or whatever the reasons that make you feel like you're alone.
And that you're not part of a tribe or a group.
Yes.
I don't know what happened to this. All right.
You were always getting kicked, you were always getting picked last for kickball,
You were, yes. Very much so.
that kind of,
That
you're always
kind
getting
of-
picked on at kids or you didn't ever feel like you fit in.
Yeah, because
Because kids are harsh, man.
right. So I think you can have small connections throughout the day where you
Yes.
connect with people. You
Yes.
have genuine eye contact. You have a moment of presence. And I think that's connection. Small
Yes.
connections.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you have to reveal anything personal about yourself. That doesn't mean you've exchanged saliva
You've
or
exchanged
spit or bodily
energy.
fluids.
You've transferred.
Yes.
You've had an exchange of energy.
Where I think belonging is one step beyond connection,
Yeah.
personally.
Yes, because and I mean that's a bond, but even a connection is a bond. So it's tricky water. Feeling like the sense of belonging, like I don't feel that I need to fit in, and if like we're in some. Oh, where did we go? We went to a group, a women's group, and I'm kind of like, I mean, it was nice. I forgot where we were. And we were at the women's group, and I was like, nah, this is not my cup of tea. This is not people I would resonate with, or I don't feel their...
Camaraderie.
I don't feel like we share the same kind of energy, is probably the best way to say it. Like, I don't think we have any things in common, or, like, I don't feel, just because you have a fancy title, or, like the sorority.
Yes. I was not a sorority person
I wasn't either, but I was feeling like, but even as adults now, like you're in the business world and you want to, be in a women's networking group or this, that's what I'm saying. You go in, I don't feel the need. If I don't resonate with the people, and I'm like, I don't feel the need to go.
Mhm.
No, I don't need to bond. I don't need to group with you.
Because I think you feel like you have enough belonging in your family,
Yes.
in your friendships.
Yes.
You don't need that. So if you didn't have, I'm thinking of single people who listen, right? Or a newly divorced person who's now not part of belonging to that. Where is connection just enough, or do you feel like you have to belong?
Yeah, I think that would just depend. I think that would depend on the individual. Because if I were when I was out in the work field every day, it is nice to come home, and have your tribe there. But I had such good interactions with my patients. I would leave work and my cup felt full. So I didn't feel like,
So maybe in the absence of connections?
But I would want a relationship.
Yeah, so I wonder if the absence of connections makes you feel like you need to belong more. So belonging,
yes.
according to Webster's definition, is to be attached or bound by birth, allegiance, dependency, or a member of a club, organization, or set, property of a person or a thing. Where connection isn't something else altogether. Belonging is the fitting in.
Yes.
Being attached to. And I think if you have enough in the way of connections, it's difficult to suck you in. One of the
Yes.
things
So I think
cults
loneliness.
belong. Yes, one of the things cults provide is a sense of belonging. Because when I was watching that show, those people said this was the first time I belonged anywhere that I was accepted fully.
Yeah.
That's why they were so
Yes.
devastated when the cult broke up after trying to murder people.
Because people want to be seen.
Yeah.
People want to be heard. People, and that's because I think that's how you feel your own sense of self-worth. I wouldn't say I like the word value better than sense of self-worth. Because we all have worth. We all have value.
And I was thinking, if you fully believe in yourself, are you that much less susceptible to the any cult?
Yes.
Because you are okay alone. You don't require someone to believe in you because you believe in yourself.
So this says, people join cults for various reasons, often stemming from a desire to belong, purpose, or escape from difficult circumstances. Cults exploit these vulnerabilities. That's what he said, it's sales tactic. They go down the one. Need for community and belonging. Because it's offering a strong sense, and I don't know, I feel like sometimes when we need that sense, when belonging is strong, do you feel like we can't handle rejection? And so like a lot of cults, they have a strong sense of community. And do you think that when they said difficult situations, do you feel like if you didn't belong and you don't fit in, that joining these cults that you won't feel rejection?
I think the rejection is a key piece of it. I think you have a very difficult time with rejection. So the fact that someone is accepting you unconditionally.
Yes.
So whether that was your parents rejecting you, whether that was family rejecting you, whether that's society or your
Right.
school, if you
Even just
had
a bad
too
relationship, maybe then
bad relationship, if you had
abusive or-
too much rejection or you had no tools to be able to accept and handle rejection.
yes.
I think that's a big thing, because the promise of a group of people not rejecting you would be so attractive.
Yeah.
The idea that 100 people were going to just accept me, I find suspicious, because I don't want fake acceptance.
Right.
And how could you possibly, you don't know me
Right.
from Adam, how could you possibly
Right.
accept me?
Because I'm already rejecting you.
Right. I'm
We haven't even met.
I'm rejecting 50 of you off the bat right the way. I'm telling you right now.
I'm doubting you before you even arrive.
And now that skepticism, is that healthy skepticism?
I think so.
I think so too, because I don't want to just be shoved or force
Well,
fed.
judgment is good. It's judgment.
Discernment is
Yes.
good. Right?
Yes.
And we need to judge a
Discernment is good.
situation. Otherwise, we're going to belong to a cult and
Well,
just
that's
buy
why-
timeshare.
That's why I say judgment, because we all judge people. We're sizing people up. We're judging
Yes.
people. Safe threat.
Yes.
To keep it simple.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
oh, this is somebody I could be friends with, or oh, this person's not. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
it's meant as a tool to keep us safe.
Yes.
We wield it in a lot of different ways, and being like,
And I also don't like being told what to think.
don't wear Crocs and don't drive a Subaru.
Right. And if your cult makes me wear Crocs
And orange
and orange
outfits.
only, I'm not going to look good in orange.
Wait, so do they all have like the same outfit? Is it like, or do they have like, does some people have mini skirts that are orange and
Yes.
they have tank tops, and some people
Yes.
have dresses? Is it like one shade of orange, or is it like, is there
No, there's-
tangerine in there? Is it like a light peach?
There's different based on the old
Shades.
footage, because it's old TV footage. Yeah, there's a little bit
I
of
have
that
to
in
look
there.
this up.
Yeah, so you have to watch that.
I had a find,
And-
I can't believe nobody would even buck that, to be like, I'm not wearing orange.
Yeah, I know, of all the colors, right?
What's one color that you absolutely will not wear?
Yellow's hard.
Yellow's hard for me too, even though I like it.
I like it, but it's hard for
It
me.
just doesn't look, it's not
Yeah.
my skin coloring.
So every Thursday for 2 hours, you can come be cult free with Lisa and Robin on the
Yes.
mic. We hope you have a happy 2 hours with us. We hope you have a fantastic week. You are listening to Lisa and Robin on the mic on 1590 AM, 95.3 FM. You can watch, stream, and listen on WSMN.live, as well as YouTube and Spotify. Please like us on those channels. It helps us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe.
Until next week, have a good week.
WSMN.live.